go with it.
Yeah. So if this
Is this
bad
30?
audio, this is 30.
Welcome to episode 30.
Where's my phone? There it is.
Welcome to episode 30.
Welcome.
This feels weird.
It does feel weird because it's, again, one of those things where it's like, did we think we were going to get here?
Well, I also thought it was weird that I'm looking at you.
Yeah, that's true too.
Usually we're like in a car
Yeah.
or we're not in the same
Like
place.
50 miles away.
Yeah. So what's up?
Yeah. No. Well, I'll tell you, I had to do all of my notes for the next episode without internet.
Oh. Did you go to the library
Okay,
and look at books?
I had internet, but I didn't have Wi-Fi. Our internet at our house has been out for 4 days.
Are internet and Wi-Fi different?
Well, because there's like the mobile network, and then there's Wi-Fi. You know, like when you leave your house, you're not hooked up to the Wi-Fi anymore?
Yeah.
That's what I did my notes on. Because the Wi-Fi...
The data.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I've never had this problem before, so I don't know how to talk about it.
Not the Wi-Fi you pay for your house.
I thought Wi-Fi was just like what comes out of the modem.
Yeah?
Yeah. So that's not working.
Okay.
We're getting a new modem. Okay.
It's a struggle. Anyway, we're recording at our mom's house.
Yeah.
This is our great-grandparents' room.
It is.
And it's super cute. It's just for them.
It's just like a little hotel room inside. It's really a guest bedroom.
But really only used by the greats.
You're right. Yes.
Well.
And us right now.
Yeah.
Hold on. I had some intro notes. There's some things I wanted to talk to you about.
Oh.
Because I knew I wouldn't remember.
We're having
a
a business meeting.
Hold on a second.
And it's serious. Is it a serious topic?
No.
Oh.
What did you think of Hocus Pocus 2?
I had a Hocus Pocus release party.
Yeah.
And I loved the party. I thought that was fun.
It was so... All the treats that everybody brought that were Halloween themed, and it was just a bowl of popcorn.
Hey, you had it wrapped up in the...
Thank goodness I got those.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't gonna.
Popcorn is... You don't need it
That's
to
what
be
I thought.
fancy.
And nobody ate it.
I did.
It was kettle.
But I didn't eat a lot of it because I had all the other things.
True.
There were so many treats.
There was.
Jordan did 2 charcuterie boards. I did chili and hot dogs. And her sisters made the ghost balls.
Yep.
And the book brownies.
Oh, those are... Okay, yeah.
The book brownies. And then Shelby did the apple slices. Whitney did the shots, the potion shots that had glitter in them.
Yes, those are great. Filled with vodka.
And everyone brought really great treats, and it was a good time. We used Katie's projector on my tree house, and if you follow me on Instagram, you can see it. But yeah, it was really fun.
It was. What did you think of the movie?
I liked the original better.
Really?
It felt a little more spooky to me.
Yeah.
The second one was a little more goofy and fun and lighthearted. I thought the first one was more spooky and a little more sinister. I thought the second one they tried to make less like that.
Less of a, what do they call that? Satanic panic?
Yeah. Yeah. So I like the original best, but I did like the second one. I thought there were funny moments, but you just can't beat the original, I don't think.
And I liked the second one better than the original.
Really? Why?
Yeah. Because I remember as a kid watching the original, because I really haven't seen the first one recently. I just listened to it because we had it up on the projector, but it was too sunny outside. So I sat next to the speaker and listened to get like a recap. And it just seemed like there wasn't like a lot of, like, it was like what you said, like, it's just very spooky. It was a spooky story about witches, and like it wasn't funny or like a Disney movie, you know? Yeah. So like the second one I felt like was more Disney. And being like, oh, this is like funny, and like I can watch this with the kids and not have to worry about them having nightmares. And even Luke was like, I like that one because like the zombie wasn't even scary. So like I liked it for the fact that my kids weren't scared, and I could be like, oh, this is something we can add to our list, you know. But the first one, I don't know if we could yet.
See, I don't care what my kids want to watch.
Yeah.
I am about like, if for me to watch it, I liked the first. But that's just, I don't know if that's like nostalgia or if that's like because I really like it a lot. I didn't like the music as much in the second one. I liked the first one a little bit better.
I loved the music in the second one.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it. Like the whole the witches are back part, I was like dying. I'm like, oh, keep going. Like, see, it was just the best.
But I did not like that so I liked that song, but the song they did on stage, I like they reused an existing song, and it wasn't an original song. They did that in the
first one too, didn't they? On stage, they reused
They did. Tune. Oh well, yeah, but they did. I Put a Spell on You.
Oh.
So it was more.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It was like Halloween.
You know, I was bummed about with Hocus Pocus 2 is that, and I was waiting for it to happen. I was hoping that the Reverend actually did live forever, and he was the mayor. You know, like I was hoping there was going to be a twist, like he's actually evil, even though he seems like a really nice guy.
I liked how like,
or not evil, just like
nice he was.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
The part where he almost cried about the apples in the beginning, I'm like, oh, that's telling how much he loves the apples.
Yeah,
and he's such a good actor too.
I just really liked the cast of this one, but I was a little sad they didn't have a little more of like their original characters. Like they did have the witches and the zombie Billy, but they didn't have, like, I thought they would have had like the youngest, like the young girl from the first one in it to be like, this is what I did, and like try to help them.
Yeah,
but
like what if she played the part of what's his name again?
The guy that like gave him the candle.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
I don't remember.
But what if she played that part? Like, what if that was her part of being like, I wanted to bring them back, you know?
Yeah.
That would have been spooky. That would have been really spooky.
Yeah. Like I really liked it. It just wasn't as spooky as the first one was. And that's kind of what I was hoping for, but it was way more kid friendly. Yeah. For sure.
And that's what I was glad about.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. But good stuff though. If you've watched Hocus Pocus 2, I want to know what you thought. Like, did you think it was the best one? Did you think it was stupid?
Right.
There's a lot of people that didn't like it at all.
Really?
Yeah. And I was surprised by that.
That was surprising.
Josh
they probably had high hopes, so
yeah.
I went in there with no hopes at all. Because I'm just like, I'm probably not gonna like it.
Yeah.
This is what I told myself. I'm like, it's probably just gonna be for nostalgia. I probably won't like the storyline or anything. But the whole time I was entertained, and I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was good stuff. I liked it. Okay.
I was also gonna do an update from the last episode. Remember when I told you Aspen's face is all swollen and stuff?
Yes.
I've kind of already told you, but I'll tell listeners. I think she's allergic to tree nuts.
Walnuts,
and like acorns or whatever, because we have a walnut tree outside of our house, and maybe she touched one of them. But then also I was telling you that we got, because the night that she had her allergic reaction was Arya's birthday. So that night we had a marble cake, and in the marble part of it, I guess it includes tree nuts. And after that is when she started getting all swollen and stuff. And then 2 days later, after she got her medicine and stuff, she had another piece of that cake and started to swell up again. And I'm like, it has to be that.
Has to be. I bet you're right.
So if anybody's wondering, I think I figured it out.
Well, I'm glad it's not anything like too, I don't know, too much of a pain.
Yeah. You know, like, I hope I don't have to get like an EpiPen or something.
Like, allergies are stupid.
The other thing I wanted to say is, which I can put this in the end, but I just want to real quick say thank you to everybody that reached out to us after our 1-year anniversary and said, like, this is our favorite podcast and things like that, because that was surprising. I'm like, really? Your favorite?
That threw me for a loop.
I know. Like, I know that we have people that listen and have been listening since the beginning, but to like have them say, this is my favorite. It's like,
out of all the podcasts there are.
I've heard there's like 2.5 million podcasts out there now.
Yeah.
And we are your favorite?
You need higher standards.
You have not researched enough podcasts.
Maybe it's the only podcast they've listened to, so by default.
Right.
That makes more sense.
Right. So people say, hey, do you listen to podcasts? They're like, yeah, one.
And it happens to be my favorite.
Yeah.
Well, thanks anyway.
Thanks. Anyway, that's all my intro notes.
Sweet.
Yeah. Just want to get that out of the way.
Well, I guess we can
start. Yeah. Okay.
All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. Hold on.
Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, there's a TV in here. It's new.
Yeah. That is new. Okay. This is something I'm not going to tell you what it's called.
Okay. All right.
I'm more excited for my next story than this one, but that's okay. Okay. So in 1982, 14-year-old Gabrielle, known as Gabby, DiStefano, was visiting her mom and sister in Utah for the summer. So I think she lived with her dad and she came to visit for the summer. Okay.
Right.
They lived near 24th and Jefferson Avenue in Ogden, Utah. Gabby was like any other 14-year-old girl, happy, full of life. Her favorite game was hopscotch, and her best friend, Christina True, went everywhere together and were attached at the hip. Okay. On the night of August...
Did her friend go with her? Huh? Did you say her friend?
Yeah, I think like she moved away and came back. And so like that was her like home friend. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
On the night of August 15th, 1982, Gabby told her mom she was going to Christina's house. But when Gabby got there, she found Christina wasn't home. On her way home, Gabby was seen near a bowling alley in Ogden with a group of people, including 2 men and Chevy Impala. That group then went to a party in Riverdale, Utah. Around midnight, Gabby's mother saw her get home, walk up to the door, but before she opened the door, the candy apple red Chevy Impala pulled up. Gabby turned around, walked up to the Impala, and got in. And that was the last time Gabby was seen.
Whoa.
Dun, dun.
She was almost home.
Yeah.
She was almost home.
She was almost in her house. But why did she get in?
How old is she again?
14. She seems to live a very free life that she can kind of just... Yeah, it was the 80s. I mean, we just have known that the 80s are...
Anytime other than now, it's just different.
It was a different time. A dangerous time.
Right.
So, a few weeks later, on September 16th, Gabby's body was found in a vacant field near a construction site in Harrisville, Utah. According to early reports from authorities, Gabby's body was found wrapped in plastic and she was shot twice in the head.
Whoa.
14 years old. Some acquaintances were interviewed, but no charges were filed. In 1984, just 2 years later, so it kind of like the investigation almost went nowhere. In 1984, a man was rumored to have been dating Gabby at the time and was possibly seen arguing with her. And he was interviewed by police, but he denied dating or even knowing her, and they couldn't prove otherwise.
So who said that, though?
Just eyewitnesses, and they can't totally be concrete, you know?
Yeah.
But believe it or not, another young woman, Joyce Tina Gallegos, she goes by Tina, was 21. She also went missing, but 4 days before Gabby did. Tina went missing August 11th, 1982, which is 4 days before Gabby did. Her family knew something was wrong because without her medications, she would have had seizures. So when she went missing, they were like, something's wrong, right?
Yeah.
Her body was found by a fisherman 11 days later, floating in the Ogden River with two gunshot wounds to the head.
Was she wrapped up?
She was floating down the river. Tina's brother had to identify her body. Yeah.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
like the worst. I
don't know.
I couldn't have done it, I don't think.
No.
Like, But someone has to.
Yeah, someone has to.
So who has to? I mean, anyway.
Gosh, that's horrible. Like, that's just something that you don't always think about, is the person that has to go and identify. But then too, like, imagine having to go and identify and it's not the person you're looking for.
It's like the relief.
Then you're seeing like relief, but then also like that image will stick in your mind like
forever.
Could have been her.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's someone else's somebody, you know, and then
you're exposed to that when
and in the water, probably the image was not great.
Right. Oh, that's horrible.
On September 17th, 1982, during a preliminary hearing for a man named Robert Aragon, an Ogden police officer undercover. Oh, sorry, wow, words. I like intertwined a bunch of words. So this preliminary hearing was for a man named Robert Aragon. So he was suspected of being the man who did this to Tina. Okay. The second woman, the 21-year-old woman. Because an Ogden police officer, he was an undercover narcotics officer. His name was Frank Gailey. He testified that he heard Aragon admit to killing Tina and dumping her body in the Ogden River. So he's like, I heard it with my own ears. He admitted to doing this.
Wow.
But Judge Ziegler ordered an arraignment date for September 22nd in a second district court for Aragon on second-degree murder. But during that arraignment, the prosecutor said he had proof that Aragon was in California when Tina was murdered. So the charges against him were dropped.
Doesn't it just make you wonder if people who, like, if they, like, paid someone to get them an alibi?
Yeah.
So it's like...
But it's weird because it's like, maybe they had the timing off in 1982. Because, I mean, California is not that far away. It's a 14-hour drive.
Right.
And from Salt Lake. And so, like, it wouldn't be impossible for someone to be in Utah the same day that they were in California.
Right.
It's possible.
Definitely.
But his charges were dropped and he wasn't considered a suspect for her murder anymore. Both cases went cold when a 3-year-old Rachel Runyon was abducted and the police's attention went to that search. So their bodies were found, but a missing child kind of like drew their attention, understandably, but they never really went back and got any evidence, so it was helpful. It just went cold. Like, they didn't have anything left.
Well, then it just makes you wonder, too, like, the guy who heard him confess that. I feel like if I was that guy, I'd go to him and be like, why the hell did you say that then?
Yeah. Then you must know something.
Yeah, either you didn't do it or you did. And if you didn't do it, why would you say you did it?
Yeah.
And if you did do it, then how the hell did you get an alibi?
Right.
Oh.
Right. Okay, so the two cases that were not even linked until 2008, when the bullet recovered from Gabby's body and the bullet recovered from Tina's body were sent to Northern Utah Crime Lab. This is where it was confirmed that both victims were shot by the same .357 Magnum revolver.
Whoa.
They didn't know that until 2008.
Yeah, you'd think that they would have...
They were killed in the same month. The same area.
Right.
Not exactly the same, but close.
Yeah.
And both shot in the head and dumped.
Shot in the head twice and dumped.
Yeah.
And don't you think that they'd be able to just, like, look at the two, you know?
Yeah, and
like, at the time?
So,
like, I think... in charge doesn't know what they were supposed to do. I think
Gabby's case was being handled by the Harrisville Police Department. And then I think Tina's was being handled by Ogden. So
I guess technology back then, like, I'm sure now there's a database where things like pop up.
They link things together easily, but like they weren't connected until way later.
Gosh, so much time.
And then in 2012, the Utah State Crime Lab tested Tina's purse, and they found a combination of more than 2 males' DNA.
Wow.
So they're like, well, now we have DNA testing, right? And they just have to go back and now test all this stuff if they have enough of it to test.
Yeah.
But police can confirm that they don't believe the two knew each other, but they did have the same circle of acquaintances. So because Gabby was 14.
Who's driving that red freaking Impala?
Yeah. So so that's exactly it. Two witnesses later said that the last time they saw Tina, she was also in a candy apple red Impala.
That's crazy.
So this red Impala, they link them together.
Yeah.
Right? Not only that, but the gun.
Later, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so they went and re-interviewed a bunch of people that they already interviewed and then interviewed new people, as well as had the DNA testing and then linked them by the gun. Okay.
Gosh, okay.
So we know Jason Jensen, PI, right? With the Cold Case Coalition. He believes that the candy apple red Impala is the key to finding the murders in both cases.
Yeah.
So it's a 1963 candy apple red Impala. According to Nancy Montoya, Tina's sister-in-law, the owner of the red Impala sold it to Tina's sister after the shootings. Yeah. So she said,
okay,
the person who owned it at the time in 1982.
Yeah.
Well, after the shootings happened, that same Impala was sold to Tina's sister.
So Tina's sister should know who owns it.
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't know if she knew who.
Oh, I guess it could be a stranger. Like KSL classifieds.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what kind of small world is that?
But wait, in the Impala, there was blood on the carpet and in the trunk, and they gave it to police. The police took the carpet, the blood stains.
Can't they just run a VIN number and know who's owned it? I mean, I'm sure they've tried.
I'm sure they've tried.
I feel like I'm like here's a new idea.
Hey, guess what? I feel like I could figure this out, you idiots.
Yeah. No, I'm sure they've already checked, but it's just like that's where my head's like, well, check this, check that, like
right.
Figure it out.
Right. But
go on.
It's also possible that the person driving the Impala was not the owner of the Impala.
That's fair.
So there's a bunch of things that, whatever.
Because I'm not even on the registration of my car.
Right. If my car was somehow involved in something, Josh would be to blame.
Right. Your name's on it, so.
Right. Well.
Yep. Not my car.
Right. So the police took the carpet, but the family never heard anything after that. Nothing came from this. Okay. According to an ABC4 interview with Weber County Detective Haney, he acknowledged that the blood found on the carpet of the Impala said, quote, "That's part of the evidence that went missing. We don't know where it went."
Went missing?
The bloody carpet from the Impala went missing. But they also only took the carpet. They didn't take the Impala. The Impala's still somewhere.
I wonder if Tina's sister still has it.
I feel like if Tina's sister still has it, they would have found Tina's sister.
Oh, is she missing too?
I don't know.
Oh, God. Huh.
But she might have got rid of the Impala since then, I'd say.
I wouldn't. I keep that
I wouldn't either.
I would keep that so
wrapped in plastic.
Yeah, I would preserve it the best I could.
Right?
Put humidifiers in it or something. I don't know how you preserve a car, but
I don't know. My thing is just put it in cling wrap like I do with my vegetables.
Yeah. Press and seal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We're idiots. So
I can just see you being like, this car is suspicious. We better preserve it. And Josh can be like, what are you doing?
And I have cling wrap, but I'm just walking around the car.
Any fingerprints are they're gonna be found on this car.
Josh would not be surprised at this point if that was the case. Right. Okay, so according to Detective Haney, the blood evidence was lost at the crime lab at Weber State. Unfortunately, it disappeared long before Weber County even took over the case. So it was back when the city police department had been involved, but it was the crime lab that can't find it. So it could have been lost in transit. It could have been lost just in their, collection of things. Yeah.
Like they might still have it, but it's not labeled.
Right. Labeling
is important.
It is important.
It really is.
Speaking of labeling, Josh found some mystery meat in our freezer.
Yeah. Did you cook it?
Yeah. We don't think we cooked it right. I don't know.
I found mystery meat too.
I was like, why didn't we label this? But it looked like really long steaks, but they were thick and like strips of something.
Oh.
And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. So we tried to cook it. It was not good.
Do you know where you got it from? Like the store, or was it?
I don't know. It was just in a Ziploc bag. So
makes you think about like the new Dahmer show.
I was like, maybe Josh had something to do with this. Yeah. This is our neighbor. I don't know.
Right. Like our neighbor did move.
Did he? I don't know. Yeah. But we ate it.
Was it good?
No.
Oh.
No. I think it was
what it tasted like.
I think it was supposed to be some kind of
it's probably
no, it's
probably human.
It did not taste like pork.
Okay.
It tasted like it was supposed to be a beef roast. And we didn't cook it right.
Oh. Well, yeah.
So
that can make it not.
It wasn't our neighbor. Okay. Good news is we also don't have a neighbor that's recently moved. So
I get to see that. You get to be like eating dinner and be like, no, we haven't seen that neighbor in a while. And you know, the other neighbor gave us this meat.
Yeah, what the heck? I don't know. I don't know where that meat came from. It's freaking me out. Why did we eat it too?
That's very trusting.
Well, I trusted Josh knew what it was. He didn't. Anyways.
No.
This is morbid. We're talking about eating people. Okay.
It's okay.
Label your stuff.
Yeah. So don't let things be mislabeled or not labeled.
Yeah. If it's not labeled, don't eat it.
Yeah, that's safe. That's a safe guideline to live by.
Right. You just assume if it's in a freezer, it's okay.
Right.
And we haven't died yet, so okay. Anyways.
Well, how long ago was this?
Friday?
Oh, okay. So you're probably like pooping it out today.
Yeah. It's going through bowel movements as we speak.
Okay.
And then we didn't like it, so we fed it to our dogs.
Oh.
So they liked it. What does that say?
What if it wasn't? What if it's like venison or something?
Usually we get venison in paper though. Like from Dad or people that do that.
Right. Unless they have like a vacuum seal.
It was a Ziploc bag.
Oh, Ziploc. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know what that was. You had a Ziploc bag? I think I didn't catch that before. I would not have eaten
and
that.
It was not labeled.
Oh my god.
It looked like
Did you let it thaw first and then cook it at least?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes I don't even
We didn't let it slow thaw. Josh microwave thawed it.
Oh.
We were very trusting of what was in our freezer. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Moving on. Okay. Where was I? I lost my place.
The Weber State, they lost.
Yeah,
the crime lab
they lost it. Okay. Get your shit together, Weber.
Right.
Weber State friggin' crime lab. Okay.
Like, you're in college.
Don't you think they'd be more responsible? That was a stupid thing to say.
No. It's after you leave college you realize when you're supposed to be responsible.
But I feel like when you're in training for something, you're a little more like focused on the rules. I feel like you get more lax in the rules after you leave college because you're like, oh, I have a job. This is my job, not that it's you know what I mean?
It's true.
Like you're more by the book.
Right.
In training.
You think. Like a little more organized.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Weber State doesn't.
Honestly, I would love to work in a crime lab.
That would be interesting.
I would love it, except for they have to test all kinds of things that I wouldn't want to be around, so.
Like how fast something decays.
Just kidding.
Yeah, right.
My 5-minute dream of it being in a crime lab.
Talk about things decaying. You're like,
nope.
I don't like when things decay or are dead. So. Anyway.
Don't like it. Okay.
Well, hopefully things have gotten better at Weber State.
Yeah, I hope that they figured out their label machine. So Weber County Sheriff's investigators were working with Harrisville police to interview people, re-interview old suspects, and collect DNA from them. Lieutenant Nate Hutchinson from Weber County Sheriff's Office said detectives are taking advantage of modern forensic technology that weren't available in 1982. They traveled to Texas to interview the guy that was interviewed previously in 1984. So the one that was rumored to be Gabby's boyfriend, he's now in Texas on parole. So they went and traveled to Texas to interview him, and he's like, yeah, I was dating her at the time. But like, you know, and they weren't able to solidify him as a suspect.
Yeah, because I mean, we don't even know if it was one person or a group of people.
Right. Okay.
So he was dating her at the time that she was murdered?
Yeah. But he didn't own the Impala or the gun.
But I wonder if he knew who did own the Impala.
I feel like he'd have to, but I feel like snitches get stitches.
All right.
All right. Anyways. So more evidence. Okay. Evidence gathered in Gabby's case specifically was also destroyed due to a flood in the Harrisville office.
Convenient.
Right. Inside job?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Probably.
But to flood a whole sheriff's office? I don't know. But they do know that the blood type of the blood from the Impala, so the some testing was done on the carpet, but the carpet itself is lost from the Impala. They were able to confirm with the technology back in 1982 that the blood type was type A, which matched the blood of one of the victims' types. But we couldn't at the time match exactly
whose,
but the blood type matched one of them.
I see.
The original owner of the Impala became a suspect. Oh, I forgot about this in my notes. Okay, the original owner of the original owner of the suspect of the Impala.
Yeah, I follow.
Gosh. Okay. The original owner of the Impala became a suspect and was questioned in 1984. But he's now deceased. So, like, they were like, okay, well, at this point, now that they've reopened everything since 2008, he is not available to question anymore.
Not available, no.
His body is, though.
Yeah.
They do have his DNA on file in case any more evidence shows up. Gabby's mother passed away. Oh,
sorry. So is he the one that sold it to Tina's sister?
Yeah. I think so. It says the original owner.
So then, do we know how old he was at the time?
I don't.
It makes me wonder if, like, okay, maybe it was his vehicle, but, like, did he have a son? Like a teenage son that drove it around, you know?
See, that's what I was wondering, if someone had taken it around. Because, I mean, I've lent out cars before.
Yeah. Or, like, when we were growing up, even, like, we drove our dad's truck or our mom's car or whatever, like, all the time. So, it could have easily been, like, his child who did it.
Or a shitty friend. Or something.
Like, someone he knows did it, maybe.
Yeah. But then he's like, you trashed my car, so now I gotta sell it. Like, maybe he didn't realize that was blood. Maybe he was like...
He didn't wrap it in...
He didn't wrap it in saran wrap like a freaking idiot.
Right.
Shouldn't speak ill of the dead, but not smart.
Yeah. What I would have done. Anyways,
okay. So Gabby's mother passed away in 1994, not knowing the truth of who killed her daughter. This last August was the 40-year anniversary of the deaths of Gabby and Tina.
Yeah.
A candlelight vigil was held in honor of Gabby at the Harrisville Millennium Park on September 16th. the day that her body was found 40 years ago.
Wow.
Her family and members of the Utah Cold Case Coalition attended the vigil to give updates on the case. Jason Jensen, PI, is currently working with the family to get answers. The spokesman for the Weber County Sheriff's Office said that they've run out of leads and welcome any new tips. So if you have any, contact their office at 801-778-6700. Or you can contact the Cold Case Coalition at 385-CLUE-313. So let's see. The Utah Cold Case Coalition is offering $3,000 for
what?
There was a short circuit in my brain. The Utah Cold Case Coalition is offering a $3,000 reward for any information leading to a conviction. You can also reach out to Jason Jensen, PI, on his Facebook page.
Is it Jason Jensen?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did I say something else earlier?
I thought it was Jesse Jensen.
Jason.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my story. It's cold.
Wow.
Ice cold.
Yeah. That was a good storytelling.
Also, we will post a picture of the 1963 Chevy Impala. It's possible that it's repainted now, but it was a news interview or something. Jason Jensen believes that it's still in the Ogden area. And
are they trying to track it down?
Yeah, they're trying to track it down. It's possible that it's been repainted. I've seen.
But what are they going to get from it, though?
They don't know, but they feel like if they had something, then they might be able to find some answers. Because if you find an Impala, like it's a classic car, it's less likely people are going to be driving it around every day. So could they find more carpet that hasn't been cleaned?
Or what kind of gun was it again? Something revolver.
367 Magnum revolver. 350. Hold on a second.
So if you know someone from the area around that time who knew how to use guns, and
357 Magnum revolver is the gun that killed both Tina and Gabby.
Revolvers are such a scary gun,
right?
It's like, why do you need a revolver?
It doesn't need revolving.
No, I don't need to see that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not a gun enthusiast, but I just feel like guns have always scared. Revolvers have always scared me since I was a kid. Like since that freaking Mouse Detective movie. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, anyway, that's my story. And I'm
really
sticking to it.
That was a good one. I just hate that it makes me want to go and see if I can help,
Yeah.
Even though they've probably already done what they can so far and they're just waiting for more info, but it's there's got to be something or someone out there or some rock that hasn't been turned over,
because it was in the 80s, a lot of the people that were involved either now have a foggy memory of what happened or whatever. What really is helpful is hard evidence. If you know for sure, if you know who did it, then I think that would be it. If you could somehow have access to the gun that was involved, somehow have access to the car that was involved.
Right.
But back in the 80s, well, and the most irritating thing, there's almost no news articles back in the 80s of these two girls.
It's it wasn't even really talked about at the
time. It wasn't widespread news.
Yeah, so people might not even known that they were looking for certain clues or whatever at the time.
Yep. But I think it's that small circle that Gabby was with a group of people.
Yeah.
At that bowling alley.
Right.
She was with people saw her with a group of people.
Probably with that Chevy Impala.
Probably bad influences, probably people who are into illegal things.
Who knows what they're up to?
Just sneaking around and doing
hooligans in the night.
Hooligans driving a Chevy Impala.
Yeah.
Walking around.
Anyway. Okay. That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's why Ogden's the worst.
The evidence keeps stacking.
Yeah. I stand by it.
Yeah.
Are you ready for my story?
I am.
I'm sweaty now.
I know. And it's intense.
Yeah.
But it was really, really upset. Oh, I should tell you, I got a lot of information from a really cool podcast. They are no longer doing episodes, but it's called Zion's Lost.
Oh.
So it's a Utah-based podcast, and their episodes are pretty short, and they just kind of do what they can with what information they have. But they did a good job. And then I did get some ABC4 and whatever's. But
Zion's Lost. I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Yeah, they did a really good job, but I think they closed up shop last year.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm covering the highway to hell. What? The Devil's Highway, Route 666.
That's in Utah?
It's in Utah.
It is?
It is. Have you heard of it?
Well, yeah, but hold on a second. Wait, I'm thinking Route 66.
It is. I'll get there.
Hold on.
So technically, it's Route 66.
Okay.
-6. Because Route 66 goes, if I remember right, Route 66 goes like east to west.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's like little branches off of Route 66. And the 6th branch goes through Utah. So it's Route 66-6.
Okay.
So it's Route 666.
Still didn't know it went through Utah. I thought it was only California.
So yeah, Route 66 goes east to west, and then the branches go north to south.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So Route 666 runs through the area of the U.S. known as the Four Corners, which is Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado. It's where they all touch.
Yeah.
So if you don't know about it, Google it.
It's a thing. People go there.
Right. And if you stand right in the center, you're in all 4 states at once. So it's kind of like a cool thing. I'm talking to the microphone when I feel like I should talk over here.
I know, but I feel like this one hears me. That one sees me.
Yeah, maybe we should talk to him.
This is Pumpkinhead Harvey.
If you're a Patreon member, you can see this. But this is Pumpkinhead Harvey. It comes out when it's Halloween time.
If you grew up in Utah listening to
Cable
93.3
FM radio
country station, they had a song called Pumpkinhead Harvey, and it goes, Pumpkinhead Harvey, Pumpkinhead Harvey, comes out when it's Halloween time. Pumpkinhead Harvey, Pumpkinhead Harvey.
And we fill him up with candy at Halloween time, and he's just a little cute pumpkin guy. I have one at my house.
I don't have one.
You don't?
I
think I got Grandma Pilcher's old one.
Oh, well, I want one.
You're gonna have
anyway,
to get one from a grandma.
But I'll just make one, I guess. But look at him, he's so cute.
He is so cute. All right. So,
sorry. Okay, go ahead.
So let's talk about the deaths really quick.
Okay.
I really only have one, but you have to know it's a highway. So like there's been deaths and accidents all over the place.
Yeah.
But I only have one for some reason. In 2002, this might be like the most significant where it was the worst, who knows. But in 2002, a woman had a heart attack while she was driving on this road, and she ended up going head on into a speeding truck, and 4 people passed away.
Wow.
Oh, and there was one infant who did not pass away, but was severely injured. So.
Okay, now?
I don't know. I didn't follow up. I don't know.
Well,
I don't even know who it was. I just got vague information.
That's one of my biggest fears when driving is that I'm just gonna pass out just randomly. Like I'm even scared to sneeze when I'm driving. Just like I sneeze and I jerk the wheel, or like then that made me lightheaded when I just but it's scary to think that you could just like
lose control
while you're driving, and who's in the car, who's around you. Oh, scary.
Yeah.
Cars, it's amazing that we're trusted and we go on the honor system, that people are just going to drive the right way and do the things.
Like when you're going on Bacchus in just the road I came on, and like you're going 60 miles per hour and there's another car coming at you 60 miles per hour. Yeah. And you're like, I trust that you're not going to swerve into me. but they might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a weird concept.
How do we trust others?
I know. I don't know. with anything at all.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, let's talk about the paranormal. We're just jumping right into the paranormal.
That's quick. Okay,
yeah.
I'm ready for it. I'm here.
So legends have swirled around about all kinds of paranormal activity while on the road. People have claimed to see hellhounds running along their vehicles at night, and these hellhounds have yellow glowing eyes, and they're most often seen when people are stopped along the road. So either while you're driving, they run with you, or if you stop to pull over for a second, you'll see them off in the distance.
That's spooky. Coyotes, maybe?
Probably. Legend says that they will run at your vehicle and try to puncture your tires while you're driving.
Really?
To make it so you break down and have to be on the side of the road.
And people have experienced this?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. That would be so scary.
There's also a legend of an evil shaman who will appear in your back seat. And they are there to steal the driver's soul.
Why is the driver more valuable than the passenger?
Maybe the shaman wants to drive. Like, you know, in Game of Thrones when he, like, warps or whatever it's called? Maybe it's that. Not stealing the soul, just taking over.
Possessing?
Yeah, possessing. Yes, that. So, people have also claimed to see ghostly hitchhikers along the road. The apparition of a woman in a white nightgown has been seen, and she appears to be wandering alongside the road and waiting for someone to pick her up. When someone offers her a ride, she will vanish. And sometimes, while driving down this long and lonely road, Tenacious D.
This long and lonesome road.
I like to think that this is where they got their inspiration, is on Route 666.
Yeah.
Did I say 466 there?
No.
Okay. You may see headlights gating on you from behind, and when they get closer, you realize it's a large semi, and they seem to be pissed at you for no reason, and they'll terrorize you for miles before suddenly disappearing. Which makes me think of the Candyman, or what it was called.
The Candyman.
Remember that movie? What is that called? With the angry, like, crazy diesel truck driver, and he calls himself the Candyman.
I feel like I can see it in my head.
It's like terrifying.
Yeah, I can see it in my head.
Yeah.
I feel like I've watched it recently in the last year or so.
Yeah, it reminds me of that. This road does travel through the Navajo Nation, and some have claimed to see shape-shifting entities that seem to go from a human to a wolf-like creature along this route. So these entities sound a lot like skinwalkers from the Native American culture, but who knows? When they've been seen on this road, when these creatures have been seen on the road, the claims all say that they will usually appear as an animal in the road, but as drivers, so when you're driving, it looks like there's an animal in the road.
Okay. So
the drivers who don't swerve, so that when they go to hit it, it will disappear right before you hit it.
Okay.
If you swerve, it stays there, and like it almost seems like it's like trying to get you to crash off the road. So it's believed this entity is hoping to cause drivers to swerve and crash.
Yeah.
Legend goes that if you don't swerve and crash, the entity appears as a scary-looking person in your back seat and will attempt to steal the passenger's souls. So you got the skinwalker.
You got the shaman that wants the driver, and then you got the skinwalker that wants the passenger.
Right. That's exactly what I said in my notes. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. A lot of people have claimed to see random people standing or walking alone alongside the road in the middle of the night. And one creepy thing is that a lot of times they'll see these people and then drive a few miles ahead and see the exact same people. So it's like they're jumping.
Yeah, they're
somehow.
Like, you didn't get me then. Now you're gonna get me
Maybe
now.
the next mile marker. Yeah. Most of the highway has been renamed using different numbers. The four corner states like Arizona, Utah, New Mexico, and Colorado, they wrote a petition to federal officials giving reasons as to why the name changes are necessary. And this is what they said. Quote, they said, people living near the road already live under the cloud of opprobrium created by having a road that many believe is cursed running near their homes and throughout their homeland. And the number 666 carries the stigma of being the mark of the beast, the mark of the devil, which was described in the book of Revelations in the Bible. And there are people who refuse to travel the road, not because of the issue of safety, but because of the fear that the devil controls events along the United States Route 666. And the economy in the area is greatly depressed when compared with many other parts of the United States. And the infamy brought by the inappropriate naming of the road will only make development in the area more difficult. In Arizona, and that's end quote. In Arizona, the road is now Highway 191. In Utah, it will be known as the new 491/old 666. Like they'll say that on the sign. Even though there have been signs posted with the new road names, it still hasn't stopped strange events from happening on the road, and it certainly hasn't stopped people from sharing stories about it.
Well, if you rename something, doesn't make it not bad.
Right. That's exactly the end.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be brave enough to go on it, though. Which I feel like makes sense as to why they're like, okay, we're not getting any good, income from our stores or whatever, because I would be scared to travel it. Knowing that, I'd be like, hell no.
Yeah.
Shaman.
No. Creepy, though. But isn't that crazy, though, that enough people are scared and nervous about it that it's affected their economy?
That is kind of interesting, because you're like, even if it's legend, you're like, enough can go into a legend, whether it's fabricated or not, and can like influence people to not.
That's the fridge. It's like a cat.
Yeah, it does. But like, it's weird that like a legend can influence that many people.
Right. So thank you for listening to episode 30, you guys. And next one will be episode 31.
Or maybe we'll just skip right to 32.
That would be fun. Okay, so On Deck at Dusk, we're going to talk about it. The next one airs on November 1st on Patreon. So recap, every single month we're releasing these On Deck at Dusk episodes. Every other month it's either true crime or a paranormal story. And they're international stories.
Because international is confusing.
Right. I don't know what I'm doing.
So we're calling it outernational.
Right. Oh yeah, I guess they don't know about it. No. We talked about it in the last Patreon episode, but outernational stories, okay?
Outside of our nation.
Yeah. So this episode 30, airs on October 16th, and episode 31 will come out on October 30th. So the day before Halloween. Ooh. Yeah, I'm so excited. Follow us on social media at Haunt and Cold Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Visit our website at hauntandcold.com to submit your own personal paranormal or true crime stories for our Bring Your Own Booze episodes. I know we haven't done any Bring Your Own Booze episodes in quite a while, but we have changed how we've been doing them. So we ask that when you write in to us that you just tell us your whole story, and then we'll read it for a Bring Your Own Booze episode. That way it eliminates the scheduling conflicts that we've been having, and some people, I think, are nervous to talk to us.
Yeah, we've had some people cancel at the last minute. I think it's just the nerves or the unsureness. So if you want, you can be anonymous,
Yeah.
But definitely. We just ask that you're
detailed.
Your stories are detailed and that they're authentic. Like, don't spruce them up.
Yeah.
Right. It's okay if it's just, I saw a freaking ghost in my house.
Right. Or like I saw a balloon floating weird.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine.
Yeah. Like, and it's fine. Like, don't. Anyway. But yeah, so we'll probably only be reading emails. So try to be as detailed as you can be.
Yes.
In your first initial email.
Yes, for sure. If we have questions, we might ask you, but like, yeah. Anyway, also on hauntandcold.com, our website, you can go there to purchase merch. And for merch, we have some fun items that range from $7 to $25. So if you're looking to spoil yourself, spoil someone else, or whatever it be, that's a perfect opportunity. You can also become a patron on our Patreon and receive free merch that way. So visit patreon.com/hauntandcold.
Our Patreon starts, first tier is $4 a month.
Yes.
So, I mean, free merch and it's $4.
Right. Like, that's cheaper than the cheapest thing we have.
Yeah, and you get extra content.
Right.
So.
Do it. Yeah. Okay, well, we are gonna go. So we have things to do. So hopefully you have things to do too. So you're not just sitting there staring at a wall when this ends.
This is your friendly reminder to wash your sheets.
Yes.
Brush your teeth.
Yep. Don't eat the mystery meat.
Don't eat mystery meat.
Ziploc in the freezer.
Label your food.
Yes, label your food. Drink your water.
Let's see. I think that's all the tips I've got.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been good. It's been real.
Yeah.
And now it's time to go.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
It's so much easier doing that in person.
It really is.
Wow.